what I'm actually passionate about is making pastry. Hence, when I opened my own shop, it was Black Star Pastry, not Black Star Cake. It's just something about making dough, flour, and butter with your hands, which really is what I wanted to do with my life. But today is going to be a great class because it's a new thing I'm doing. I want to take you through a pretty technical dough in a way. I want to make a full puff pastry from flour and butter in an hour and have it baked in an hour using these two machines, the Irinox blast freezer and the Unox baker top oven. Yeah. So look, this is a Scotch puff. Okay, we don't actually make a full rough puff with the trompe, and you rest it overnight or an hour. You cut the Maltese cross, you get your butter sheet, you know, double turn, rest it half an hour, double turn, rest it half an hour, double turn, right? So what we're going to do is do all of that in, say, half an hour, get it in the oven, and then we're all going to be eating a little chestnut tart by the end of this. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to make the dough now, get it like made. It has to chill in that Irinox blast freezer to the right temperature. So I'm just going to bang it together, okay? And then we're going to have chats after that. All right, so with pastry, you want to control as much as you can, right? Control, so you're only really playing with one variable at a time. This is what we call a CP1. It's a great unit because it's very temperature stable. So we keep ours at 1 degree. You know, croissants, how you want to stop any kind of fermentation or not much. So 1 degree is great, and it's just on the edge of freezing. If you freeze your dough, it's completely different, right? 1 degree allows you to store it for as long as possible, as stable as possible. I've got all my ingredients here, so I'll bring them out. Okay. Salt, vinegar. Now I'm going to read out the measurements in a little bit. So all these things I've got cold. They're at 1 degree or 2 degrees or something like that. The reason I've done that is because I want to laminate really quickly. I'll get into that, okay? The only thing that's not at 1 degree is this butter, okay? So I think butter's amazing at between 8 and 16 degrees, you know? So when you think about like practical everyday baking in a bakery, right? You can never quite get things to exactly 8 degrees or 12 degrees. It's always like a window, isn't it, guys? You know? It's really important to not just understand when it's right, but kind of like the tolerances, you know? And you know how you get that? By making a lot of mistakes, you know? Oh, too soft, oh, too hard. Okay, so this is a funny dough, okay? I'm gonna put the flour in. Right, this is a kilo of flour, and I specifically made it a kilo because you bakers kind of understand baker's percentage, right? There is salt, 13 grams, so, you know, 1.3, 1.5%, that'll work. Now I'm gonna just throw the butter in, so that's 500 grams. Here's 250 grams, right? Have any of you made like a rough puff before? So what you actually want are massive chunks of butter at the end, right? You don't want it all worked in, and then when you laminate it, then you're gonna get the same effect as if you put a butter sheet in there. So this is what we worked out. We worked out if we put 2/3 of our butter in now, worked it, and it's a little bit cold, but we'll make it do, hey? I'm gonna put all this in. You know why? Because, and I'll go into this later, I actually want a little bit of gluten development. So have I got everything? Vinegar. That was, 350 grams of water, so that's 35%. Back in Sydney, it's actually 31.2. Yesterday I made it a little bit tough. You know how things just change sometimes. And then this is vinegar, okay? Now what's that? 18%. 18 grams. So again, a kilo of flour, thank you. 750 grams of butter, but only like 2/3 in there. That's going to kind of work its way through. We're going to add this at the end so it remains unmixed through. It's just coming together, and then when I think it's almost done, I'm going to add the remaining butter there. Anyway, I'm going to throw the remaining in. So you'll notice it's in big blocks, right? You know, in a short crust, you want to just stop it, maybe finish it with your hand. This one, you actually want to work a little bit more. So, okay, let's do it. So when you're blocking, this is what I do. One hand shape, one hand push. One hand shape, one hand push. Is that going to be thin enough? And because we're going to laminate, like, you know, you don't have to nerd out on getting rectangles. You really shouldn't, right? You should just get it in the freezer. 14 degrees, so I want it to get down to about 8, I think. We can do that with this Irinox here. I'm actually going to go, directly on there so I get maximum airflow. You know, when you get a student or someone start with you and say, "Chef, how long do I rest the dough?" You know what my smart ass answer is? As long as it takes, right? Because really, it's more important to understand why you're resting than because chef said so. So starting on 40, no, this is about starting on 25, lower, there. Here we go. Oh, okay. So 3 double turns, going down to about, 8. Okay, so we're going back to 30 mils, I think, should be enough. Yep, here we go. Okay. Once this is done, then we're going to just rest it again, right? Until we know that the layers of butter and flour are going to be okay. They're not going to squish. So this is 10 mils. I'm going to finish on 8. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Okay, which is great. Look at that. There's no elasticity. I've got extensibility here. And thankfully, I adjusted the tenacity in the machine by adding a little bit. It's always a trade-off though. The more times you put it through there, the warmer it gets. And again, I'm just being a little bit pedantic here because it doesn't matter too much about this. We're going to cut squares and they're going to be what we really want. So just get it in the Irinox, Chris, and be done. Okay. Cool. Into the Irinox. So, you know, a really good thing we have here is this probe. So sometimes what we do, and this is what we do with our dough, is we stick it in there and we set the temperature which we want it to finish at, and then the thing will blast freeze till it hits that temperature and then go into a holding temperature, which you can also set, which for us is 1 degree. I won't do that though because I just want it to blast freeze. But that's really useful. So we actually have one of these things pretty much set at 1 degree all the time. And we have CPs for holding our cake. What we've found is since we've been using the CP, because it also has like a sanitizing function, which is great. Plus, like you'll notice there's not much airflow in there. You don't get that fan like you do in a normal fridge. So we've got another day out of our strawberry cake in life, which is amazing if you're running the business. So you'll see, like if you go see the good patisseries, although they're getting rid of their freezer rooms, and you just see banks and banks and banks of these guys. Because yeah, they're great as a fridge, but actually they come into their own in negative when they're like freezer, no condensation. You know, how much product did I lose in my life because you get that pool on top? Crazy. Righty. Let's take a temperature. Edges are just slightly like colder than the inside. The point of today is just to show you with technology, sometimes if you use it well, it can allow you to be a little bit more free. Nothing like having to pick up the kids from school at 3 o'clock and you can't get out of that to show you, like to make you innovate, right? Right, so we're going to pin this one down to about 4, and then we're going to finish it with sugar on the bench. All right, starting at 40 mil. Let's go. What I will do is just pop some of this into the oven now, and hopefully it's going to puff up again. So that's about 200 degrees. It could be a little bit hotter if you wanted. Layers. I think I'm just gonna pin it out and then just give it a minute in the Irinox, and that should, because it's so thin, it should really be fast. It should really be fast. A little bit thick, but we're gonna go anyway. Because it's a little bit thick, like when we bake it, you might get a little bit of rawness in there, but we're all friends, I hope. Okay, so we've got to pop them onto a tray or two. There wasn't enough space and customers everywhere, so the next team came in at 2 or 3 and finished at 10-hour shift later, midnight, 1 a.m. And now we all work during the day, which is, yeah, everyone's much happier. And I mean, all right. Yeah, all right, so that's not bad, huh? How much whiskey to put in just to taste. Now it's super hot. Not too much. Okay. A little bit under. So thank you very much for everyone for listening.
I'm really proud to work with this company because I always say it's very important to be a good chef. But everybody can be a good chef. Now they start to increase the recipe, to do a better job. Now everybody are really proud. The chefs are really proud to talk about the recipes. You know, my recipe is the best one. No, this is the best one. I'm Italian. No, my recipe, my tiramisu is the best one that you never taste in your life. But actually, recipe is important. But if you don't take care about the recipe, and if you don't know how to process the recipe through the technologies, talking about the oven, but talking about also the blast chiller and the holding cabinet, then the recipe is gone. You lose the recipe. If you have to do 200, 300. So you start early in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're lucky, evening it's ready. No, not anymore. This is not my way. My way is to organize my food in advance. Any kind of food, because I can use the right technologies. So just to continue with this product, what you can do, you can organize your product raw without baking, and you can store in a fridge. You pass into the holding cabinet, in a blast chiller, and then you store in a fridge. When you need it, you just take it away, frozen, and you go straight in the oven and you bake it. Okay. Another one way is you can bake the product and then you can freeze. And when you take it out from the blast chiller, you can bake it again just for a couple of minutes and you can taste. But this is crunchy, so everybody can say, but if I freeze, I lose the crunchiness. But we'll see later that it's not true. If you know how to freeze or how to chill, you never lose texture, crunchiness, flavor, never. Why Irinox? Irinox is the only company in the world they're taking care about the blast chiller and holding cabinet. We are specialists. We only do blast chiller and holding cabinet. We don't want to have any other business. We don't produce we don't do any oven or any vacuum machine. So this is the reason why Irinox is the leader company in the world. This is the reason why we are pioneer. In delicate and strong. Delicate because we use delicate ingredient. Strong because sometimes we need to process the delicate ingredient in a strong way. This is the difference. Then we realized that we need also to take care about the freezing product, the frozen product. So when the product is very hot, we cannot freeze. Otherwise, we're gonna have igloo effect. We freeze totally the external part, but inside it's very hot. Imagine bread. If you freeze the external part of the bread and inside it's very hot, you know, bread means yeast, fresh yeast. So when you defrost the bread, you're gonna have a very bad texture. And you threw it away. In 2007, what's happened? I was working with the Irinox and I was talking with my boss, and we start to think about a cook and chill process, because everybody, they started to talk about the cook and chill process. But what does it mean, cook and chill? Cook, stop, and chill? No. Cook and chill means straight. We need to cook and chill fast. Really? That's the reason why we developed the innovation of the blast chiller. It's the multi-fresh. In the multi-fresh, we can chill, we can freeze, we can proof, we can defrost, we can work in different sectors. What else we can do? We can do low temperature cooking. But the next thing, the issue is that we can manage temperature each step as we want. We can manage fan speed as we like. And we can manage the time as we want. This is the issue. This is the bigger issue. And this is the multi-fresh. Can you do? Oh, come. Thank you. Okay. This is the multi-fresh, so we can chill, we can freeze, we can defrost, thawing, holding, regeneration, pasteurization. Okay. We select pastry. We have specific cycle. Okay. This is the only pastry I know how to do that. This is the tiramisu, because all the Italians, they know how to do the tiramisu. But my recipe is the best one. Okay, this is the tiramisu. It's completely frozen. It is. Look at the cacao. It's not wet, it's dry. How can be? Completely frozen. You ready? Wow, I appreciate. Okay, no wet. Okay, another one exercise, guys. Okay. What is this? Italia, spaghetti, pizza, tiramisu. Really, this is pizza, but this is frozen pizza. Okay. After tomorrow, you can take it out your dough, and you can use your dough as you like, as you want, and the dough is always the same. The dough is not dry, and this is very important.
Hello. My name is Adrian Grazioli from, thank you for the introduction, Brett, appreciate it. We use Irinox and Unox in our patisserie. I'm on the Gold Coast, so I started about 5 years ago. We've got 2 stores and a production kitchen. We've got 2 CP1s, we've got 3 holding cabinets, we've got an MF70, and we've got an underbench blast chiller. So, and we've got 1 10 tray baker top. So we use this every day. We only got 1 oven, we use every single day. We make sourdough, we make croissant, we make everything in the 1 oven. And we blast chill pretty much everything. We freeze all our croissant dough. We only make croissants once a week. We're a small patisserie, we don't have much storage, so what we're trying to do is just cut the time. We freeze everything in the underbench, then we put it away in the freezer, or we put it away in the holding cabinets. once you glaze this and it's in the freezer, the holding cabinet, you can touch it, you can do whatever you want, no moisture, no condensation, you can drop it. I don't recommend that. You can, the freezing is I think that's the most important thing, the blast chiller for us, it's been. We've got 2 blast chillers, so it's unbelievable what can be done. Yeah, so that's the inside. So with the blast chilling, yeah, you get the right consistency. They're all the same, they're in the right area. Same as, especially with this, I think. You can see the balance in the layers, and I don't think you can get that just doing normally. That's why we use what we do.